Have you ever noticed how some changes in you feel small, almost invisible, but deep down they feel different, calmer, softer, safer? What if I told you those tiny habits you barely think about are actually signs you're healing from past trauma, even if you don't consciously realize it yet? Here's the psychology behind it. Because healing doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks quiet. Let's begin. Have you ever noticed you don't explain yourself as much anymore? You stop over-justifying your choices. You stop defending your feelings. And strangely, you're okay if someone misunderstands you. Psychology calls this emotional independence. When trauma is active, the brain seeks safety through approval. You explain to survive. You clarify to avoid conflict. You overtalk to feel accepted. But when healing begins, your nervous system learns a new truth. I don't need permission to exist. That's not arrogance. That's self-regulation. Habit number 1. You explain less and feel less guilty about it. Now notice this one. You pause before reacting, not because you're scared, but because you're aware. You feel anger rise, but instead of exploding or shutting down, you take a breath. This is emotional intelligence in action. Trauma wires the brain for fight, flight, or freeze. Immediate reaction meant protection. Healing rewires that loop. The pause means your prefrontal cortex, the rational brain, is gaining control over the emotional brain. You're no longer living on autopilot. Habit number 2. You respond instead of react. Have you also noticed you're suddenly okay with being alone? Not lonely, just comfortable. You enjoy quiet mornings, solo walks, doing nothing without guilt. This isn't withdrawal, it's nervous system safety. Psychology links this to secure attachment forming after trauma. When you're no longer desperate for distraction or validation, it means your inner world feels safer than chaos. People who are unhealed fear silence, because silence brings memories. Healed people don't fear silence. They hear themselves clearly. Habit number 3. You enjoy your own company without escaping it. Now this one surprises most people. You're softer, but stronger. You cry easier, but you also say no faster. This is emotional flexibility, a key sign of recovery. Trauma often creates extremes, either emotional numbness or emotional flooding. Healing brings balance. You allow yourself to feel without letting feelings control you. Psychologists call this affect regulation, and it's one of the strongest predictors of long-term mental health. Habit number 4. You feel deeply without losing yourself. Have you noticed your taste changing? Music hits differently. Movies feel heavier. Certain places no longer excite you. That's not boredom. That's identity reintegration. After trauma, people often dissociate from their true preferences. They like what keeps them safe, what blends in, what avoids attention. As healing happens, your authentic self resurfaces. You choose what resonates, not what distracts. Habit number 5. Your preferences become more intentional. Now pay attention to how you handle conflict. You don't chase closure anymore. You don't beg for apologies. You don't need the last word. This isn't avoidance, it's discernment. Psychology explains this through cognitive reappraisal. You've learned that not every battle deserves your energy. Trauma makes you prove your pain. Healing teaches you to protect your peace. Habit number 6. You let go without forcing understanding. Here's another quiet sign. You stop romanticizing suffering. You no longer see pain as proof of depth. You stop glorifying being strong through everything. This shift reflects post-traumatic growth, where the brain learns that rest is not weakness, it's recovery. You choose ease where you once chose endurance.
Habit number 7. You prioritize rest without apologizing. Now let's talk about something subtle. Your inner voice changes. It's not always kind, but it's no longer cruel. You catch negative self-talk sooner. You question thoughts like, "I'm too much," or "I always mess things up." This is metacognition, awareness of your thoughts, a sign the trauma narrative is loosening. You're no longer your past voice. You're becoming your present witness. Habit number 8. You challenge your inner critic instead of obeying it. Have you also noticed you don't overshare like before? You're more selective, more private, not closed, just intentional. Trauma can cause oversharing as a subconscious plea to be seen. Healing teaches boundaries. You share from choice, not from hunger. Habit number 9. You protect your story. Now notice how your body feels. Your shoulders drop more often. Your breath goes deeper. Your sleep slowly improves. Trauma lives in the body. So does healing. These are signs your nervous system is shifting from survival mode to regulation. Psychologists call this autonomic balance. Your body finally believes it's safe now. Habit number 10. Your body relaxes without permission. And finally, this one matters most. You don't rush healing anymore. You don't compare timelines. You don't force progress. You trust the process, even when it's quiet. This reflects self-trust, something trauma once stole. Healing doesn't scream, it whispers. And if you see yourself in these habits, understand this. You're not broken, you're becoming. Slowly, silently, deeply. And that kind of healing lasts. If this video felt personal, that's not coincidence. It means your mind is waking up to itself. Stay curious, stay aware. And if you want to understand human behavior on a deeper level, you already know what to do. You're not late, you're right on time.